Radio Rahim with Shawn Porter. We're here in Brooklyn, man. One of your many backyards, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, they love you here. They love you in Vegas. Obviously, you're from Cleveland, where you walk the streets and get all kinds of fanfare.
Yeah.
But here in New York, at the Barclay, it seems to be kind of hallowed ground for these kind of grudge matches. Guys come here to really work out the differences between them, not just professionally, but sometimes personally. Yeah. At what point do you feel like this fight took a turn from just, hey, two guys who want the same thing to two guys who really want to beat each other up?
Wow, I don't even know. It probably was his fight with Brandon Rios. I think that probably was the tip of the iceberg. But I've done some things on social media, just having fun, but at the same time, wanting it to be known that, this is a fight that I want. So like you said, we come here to Brooklyn to get it down. The best part about it is everybody, they want to see you fight. If you're not fighting, they're going to boo you, and they will boo you till you leave the arena. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm glad that the fight is here.
We've been doing this a long time, and from the beginning, you've always been, if I can use the term, like a poster boy, you know what I mean? In that you're a clean-cut guy, you always are smiling, there's never too much animosity in your words, but as of recent, it seems like you've grown more aggressive. Like, I don't know how I would characterize it, but there's definitely a change there in your approach. How do you describe that, and what brought that about?
I would say I agree with you. I think maybe more than anything is just probably my level of confidence is probably starting to show up a little bit more than it has in the past. And I think, you have things are changing. We have this social media. We have platforms now where, you say one thing and it goes a long way. So I think there's just been a lot of things that have, come about that kind of, has made me transform into, somewhat more of a more outspoken than you've seen in the past. But I mean, trust and believe, my heart and my mind, they're still the same. I still do everything with the intent to win, and I still think of nothing but goodness coming out of it. You mentioned that your career hasn't gone the way you wanted it to go, and that you didn't get the fights you wanted when you wanted them. Do you feel like maybe being more boisterous, more cantankerous brings about the fights you want when you want them, like getting in the ring with Garcia? For a long time I was told that, and I didn't believe it. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be me. But again, with him coming into his own at 147 pounds, and social media changing and all that kind of stuff, I really did. I saw opportunities for me to do a little bit more than I have in the past, and I think at some point it did play its role. But I think that the business, the managers, and everything really made this fight happen more so than just me getting on social media or me stepping into the ring after his fight and calling him out. I think it was a whole, all of it was just a combination of it all. Now both of you guys have fought and been defeated by the same guy. So now we've got this vacated title that you get to. Right now? Well, actually, I'm glad that you're getting this fight and getting an opportunity. I think that's what it says in the column. It wasn't not my word. But you have an opportunity to claim this title. Come up short. Let's say come up short. Okay, you came up short. You came up short, and you have an opportunity to get a little taller. Coming in. Still waiting on that. But had a growth spurt ever. But see, my point was I get what you're saying. You both thought that you had close fights. Yeah. I mean, at times you both said, "Hey, man, I even thought I won that fight." So, is there something, not just that you could learn from watching your opponent Danny Garcia, his coming up short against Thurman, but looking back on your own fight with him, is there something there that is workable or something that you can use? Definitely, especially if you're someone like me. When I watch a fight, I watch not only their punches but how they move, and I try to figure out why they made the moves that they move. So upon watching him and Keith Thurman again on film, you will see why he didn't throw the punch that I would expect him to throw at me. You can really see those things, at least I can. So I'm definitely gonna pay attention to the fight with him and Keith Thurman. I know that Keith Thurman has a little bit more of a different style than I have, and he brought that to the ring against Danny Garcia. Great part about that is, I'm somewhat of a chameleon. I can kind of reach at, look at different things and grab what I want from it. So I'll be able to see, the way he was able to move and turn Danny and not allow him to get into any type of rhythm and get comfortable in the ring. So it all is going to play a role for this fight.
Some of the knocks or criticisms that Danny has to face is that people think some of his wins should have gone the other way, to be honest, or this close fights he got gift decisions. You, on the other hand, have seemed to have dealt with it the opposite. It's like some of these fights you should have got that you didn't get. But when you hear him sit up there and say he's faster than you, he's a better boxer, he's an overall just better fighter than you, how does that land on your ears, and why is he wrong?
You know what? When I hear those things, it's just, September 8th can't come soon enough. Because I'm that guy that anything you believe or think about yourself, I want to make everything just so much of the opposite. So I'm definitely, I plan on hitting him from the outside and making him realize, like, you just got hit by a jab. That you can't hit me back. So all of it is just gonna come out in the fight.
And lastly, you talk about not getting the fights you, I guess, feel like you deserve when you want them, and you've already said you get this title, Errol Spence is next. That's the guy that you want to face. But just a few days ago, after the Mikey Garcia fight, they seem to have made that fight on Showtime already for December. Do you feel that, that's a guy who has never fought in your division?
Yeah.
If you were to have a title, how would you handle that situation? Do you feel like you're still in the conversation?
Well, you know what? It's funny, man. I think it's a beautiful thing right now. It seems like the world of boxing, the business of boxing, is moving on its own. I was told night of the fight that Errol Spence said he wanted the winner of myself and Danny Garcia, and he was promised that would happen. And then Mikey Garcia did what he said he was going to do and expected to do, and then he's saying that he wants to fight Errol Spence. So to me, at the end of the day, man, it's beautiful. It's boxing is at in the perfect place right now, and I'm in the perfect place to go grab that belt and become a part of what those guys were talking about.
How would you see that fight shaking out if it were to happen? Mikey and Errol Spence.
It's you gotta take a deep breath for that one, man. He got a kid coming up from 135, and I know we all walk around a little bit heavier than where we fight at, but even yet and still, 147 is just we're different up here, man. We're all different. I say it all the time. At 147 pounds at welterweight, you get what you get at lightweight, and you get what you get at heavyweight. You get the power from the heavyweight. You get guys knocking each other out, and then you get the speed, you get the action that you get from the lightweights. So when he moves up, he has to expect Errol to be right there for him. He can expect Errol to take any steps back like a lot of his fighter does. He just pushes forward and pushes those guys back. Errol Spence ain't going nowhere. It's gonna be a long night, and again, man, he's been a world champion now, so he's definitely earned the right to at least talk about fighting Errol Spence, if not fighting him.
He's earned the right to fight the champion in your weight division?
I do. I think that him showing out the way he has showed out and fight after fight now in the last 2 years now. I think he's been back. Has he only been back a year? Or has he been back 2 years?
Only like a year.
Yeah, it's only been a year. So he showed out since he come back. So yeah, I think that him being a world champion and moving up, and I would do the same thing. If I move up to 54 or 60, I'm looking to fight a champion. I'm not looking to fight Joe Blow and just make some money. We're guys like myself, Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence. We're out here to claim that #1 spot. We're not out here just to fight and make money and be seen. We're out here to claim belts and be the #1 guy out here.
Well, I hope you guys both show out in Brooklyn, and good luck at claiming that top spot. Getting back to #1. Radio Rahim with SHAWN Porter.